In episode 3, we are going to try to understand what makes AI tick. By doing so, we will elaborate on what the different components are, like activation functions, hidden layers, and the core building blocks of artificial neurons, nodes, etc. This is part of our deep dive into the neural network composition of ChatGPT, and buckle up because tonight we are also going to have a surprise guest based on the interviews that I have done at the Oslo Creative AI Meetup at Trekanten, Oslo, Norway.
I am your host, Ali Sobot.
Don't be a prick. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Okay, guys, this is episode 3, season 2, episode 3 about creative use of AI in Norway. Now let's summarize what we went through last time. We went through the history of AI, a short history how AI was developed and how it was born, and now and basically let's just jump right in and recap what we've learned so far and what we'll explore next. So neural networks learn by trial and error, tweaking themselves through back propagation until they get smarter. As you remember, we also talked about CNNs, or convolutional networks. CNNs handle images, and RNNs handle sequences and transformers, like the one behind ChatGPT. Use self-attention to understand context. Grasping these basics helps us see how AI actually thinks. Now that we've brushed up on the past, let's dive into what really makes this digital brain tick. At least that's the purpose of this episode. Make sure if you have any simpler way to explain these horribly difficult topic, make sure to make what I'm talking about more simple, more accurate, and more elaborate if you feel like my explanation isn't sufficient. The components. What makes the AI brain tick? A neural network is a system of simple connected parts that learn from data, which is way different from static programming instructions. So the core building blocks, you've got artificial neurons or nodes. These are simple processes. They take in weighted inputs, sum them up, apply a nonlinear function or the activation function, and spit out the result. So what are weights or synapses? These are the connections between neurons. They are adjustable parameters that determine the strength of the signal. Training the network is just finding the best value for all these weights to get the right output. Activation functions. So these are crucial because they introduce nonlinearity to the system. Without them, the whole network would only solve simpler linear problems. Common ones are sigmoid, tan, and ReLU, or rectified linear unit, the current popular choice. How the network is wired and trained. Architecture. This is the overall design or wiring. Feed-forward network. Information moves in one direction, input to output, no loops. Recurrent Neural Networks, or RNN. If you remember, we went through that this last time. RNNs they have connections that cycle back, giving the network an internal state memory to process sequences like sentences. Deep learning refers to network with multiple hidden layers. Last function. This is the network scorekeeper. It measures the difference between the network's actual output and desired output. The goal of training is to minimize this loss. Okay, I want to go back to deep learning. It says we agreed that it refers to networks with multiple hidden layers. Here's a question I've got, and if you guys have the answer, be my guest and answer in the comment sections. When we're talking about multiple hidden layers, are we talking about different neural networks that basically are the hidden layers? I think we're going to touch upon this during this show, but make sure to comment if you're an AI expert and you know how this shit works. Okay, backpropagation. So if you remember, we also talked about backpropagation. Basically, backpropagation is the method used to actually adjust the weights during training. It figures out how much each weight contributed to the error loss and adjusts it accordingly. Optimization algorithms or gradient descent. These algorithms use the gradient to figure out which direction, how far to adjust the weight to reduce the loss. So if you remember, I don't know if I have mentioned it in the last episode or not, but algorithms are basically instructions on how data should function. Or the example I love to give is basically if you have got a recipe for what you want to make, that recipe is an algorithm. Okay, so basically algorithms are instructions of set of data and how they should behave. If you've got a simpler way to define it, I would love to hear you in the comment section. Okay, a critical setting that controls how big the weight adjustments are. Too big, you overshoot. Too small, it takes forever. So epochs. Epochs are basically one full pass of the entire training data set through the network. You usually need many of these. Overfitting. So this is where the model gets too good at the training data, memorizes it, but it sucks at new, unseen data, fails to generalize. We use tricks like regularization, L1, L2 penalties, and dropout, randomly turning off neurons during training to fight it. So I want to emphasize what overfitting a model is, because I find it quite interesting working with having worked with LoRa's and stuff, and I have witnessed overfitting during the training processes. So basically, overfitting a model is when it learns the training data too well, including its noise and irrelevant details, to the point where it performs poorly on new, unseen data. An overfitted model has memorized the training set instead of generalizing the underlying patterns, leading to high accuracy on training data but low accuracy on new data. So now that we've got the conceptual part out of the way, let's dive into the good stuff about keeping your AI from sucking and diving into the most popular types of neural networks. Okay, so let's start with keeping your AI honest. So what you have to do in order to keep your AI honest, we have to use regularization tricks. So first up, when we train an AI, we don't want it to cheat. If it gets too dependent on specific neurons or the exact training data, it won't be smart in the real world. These two techniques. So here comes the following two techniques that keep the AI honest. Dropout. This is where you randomly turn off or deactivate neurons during training. It's like forcing your team to practice without their best player. This prevents co-adaptation of features, meaning the network can't become overly reliant on a specific group of neurons always working together. It forces the remaining neurons to learn more robust features. And the other technique is cross-validation. This is a method for checking the model's performance on unseen data. You divide your data set into several subsets. You train the model using all but one subset, and then you use that leftover subset to validate the model's performance. You rotate which subset is held back for testing, ensuring the model's performance score is legit and not just get lucky. Now let's dive into the main types of neural networks that exist. So basically the AI zoo. All neural networks are basically layers of interconnected neurons designed to mimic the brain, using weights and an activation function to process inputs and make predictions. The way these neurons are wired creates different types of networks, each built for a specific job. So what are these jobs? Feed-forward networks, the basic router. What they are, the simplest form, information moves in only one direction forward, from the input layer, through the hidden layers, to the input layers, and there are no loops. So basically, the simplest form, information moves in only one direction, that is forward from the input layer, through the hidden layer, to the output layer, and there are no loops. So what they are for? Straightforward mapping of inputs to outputs, great for simple classification like predicting medical diagnosis. They suck at tasks where historical data is important because that demand data memory. So recurrent neural networks, or RNN, are basically the memory keepers, right? So what are they really? RNNs are designed to handle sequential data, like sentences or stock prices. They have connections that cycle back into themselves, giving the network a form of internal state memory. The problem and the fix. The RNNs are hard to train because of the vanishing or exploding gradient problem, which messes up weight updates. To fix this, we use specialized variants, LSTMs, or long short-term memories. These have special memory cells and gates that can retain information for long periods, mitigating the gradient problem. Then you've got GRUs, or gated recurrent units, a simpler, faster version of the LSTMs that does the same job with fewer gates. So what are they for? Language translation, speech recognition, and time series analysis. Then you've got convolutional neural networks, CNNs, which basically is the AI's eye, okay? What they are: the kings of image recognition and processing. Their strength is in their ability to automatically learn a spatial hierarchy of features, first edges, then shapes, then objects, the key parts. So they use convolutional layers, which use small filters to detect features like edges, pooling layers, which reduce the data size and make the network robust to small image shifts. And finally, fully connected layers for the final classification decision. So what they're for? Object detection, face recognition, and any task involving visual data. So you've got specialized and hybrid models. So their AI world has a ton of cool shit, okay? Or other cool shit. You've got autoencoders. These learn to create an insufficient compressed representation of data, usually for dimensionality reduction or finding anomaly detection, stuff that doesn't fit the pattern. They essentially learn to copy their inputs to their outputs. I've actually met autoencoders when working with stable diffusion. You have to basically install autoencoder models in order to make the output image better in quality. That's my experience with autoencoders. So you've got GANs, generative adversarial networks, which are these are system of two competing networks: a generator that creates fake data and a discriminator that spots it. This game, like training, creates incredibly realistic synthetic images and is used in things like drug discovery. I actually have trained synthetic data. So I guess what I have done, because I have only used that in an applied setting. So what I have done is basically used GANs, or I haven't, the AI has, used a system of two competing networks, basically GANs, in order to create these fake data. So what I have done is basically I have had several AI produced images that I like, that I want the new AI to train on. So the new AI trains on earlier images that were produced by AI, alright, synthetic images, and I fed it and I got another set of synthetic image data, so in better quality, right? Because the model I used earlier, it wasn't as good as the model I used later on. That's I think that's an issue when you're training, when you're doing LoRa's and training stuff like that. And you've got hybrid models. Often networks are combined. For example, a CNN, a convolutional networks, combined with an RNN, recurrent neural network, I think it was, like a convolutional LSTM, to analyze video, where you need to understand both image features through CNNs and temporal dependence RNNs. I think RNNs treated sequential data. Make sure to fact check me if you remember. And you've got graph neural networks, GNNs. These are designed to process data that is represented as a graph, where you have nodes and edges like social networks or molecular structure. Attention mechanisms. This is a crucial addition that allows the network to dynamically concentrate on the most relevant parts of the input data to make better predictions. This concept is what powers the modern transformer architecture. Yeah. So what I have done, well, at least what I have tried to do, is to describe the core terminologies and the way neural networks work when they produce an image, when they recognize an image, when they produce audio. I don't think I've been on that. I don't think I have emphasized that front, but speech recognition, no, not speech, image recognition, and the attention part, which basically treats the data in a more in a better way, qualitatively. Okay, I hope you found this session useful as well. Make sure to stick around, because we've got really awesome interviews that showcases how entrepreneurs, individuals, or others use ChatGPT or transformer technologies and adapt it in their business models. That's one of the most interesting part of this show. Don't skip anything. Cheers, guys. See you next time.
Now let's jump into part 2. Tonight, we will chat with this season's first female AI entrepreneur, Maya Johansson, a venture builder, designer, and Gen AI creator. We will discuss her venture into personalized branding videos and her beta release interactive storytelling platform. As always, the question is, what transformer technology do you think Maya has used for her business development based on this conversation? Please share your thoughts in the comments section.
Okay, guys, welcome to tonight's about creative use of AI in Norway. I've got a really special guest for you tonight, Maya, right? Yeah. And I'm just going to give you some factual background. I'm really glad that Maya could join us. Look, as far as the AI space is concerned, data or stats from 2023 states that only 20% of women are represented in AI innovation or AI using AI tools as of now. I guess it's far fewer in the workspace. So as a hobby, it has been quite low at 2023. So that's why I'm really glad that Maya could join us and give us a new perspective on the famous on how a female AI enthusiast uses AI in her profession. Look, I'm going to give you the floor, and I want you basically introduce yourself, tell us about your past, your present, and basically if you want to see your future as well, how will that go? Yeah.
Alright, so my name is Maya Johansson. I am a AI creator, designer, and venture builder. So I have been working with creative tools for many years now. I have a bachelor's degree in 3D, and funnily enough, because I struggled to get a job within 3D space, especially because here in Norway is such a tiny community, I kind of had to look the other way, and I had to figure out what else to do, and then I looked into AI, because that was a way to also be creative, to create something, do a little bit of design, but also have these cool scenes and storytelling and all that kind of stuff.
Just I think I have asked this question earlier from you, so bear with me because they don't know, and to be honest, I don't remember your answer. Do you use AI 3D tools for 3D works or somehow?
So right now I don't do much 3D anymore. I kind of went away from that after I started getting a job. But as currently I'm doing an R&D project with the architectural visualization, because that was kind of my specialty when I went out from 3D school. And I'm kind of trying to see if we're able to use AI to get these clean renders instead of having to do the 3D way, because that is very time consuming, it's very expensive. So this is something great to offer people who doesn't have as high budget, and then hopefully get as good as a result, if not better.
I'm going to ask you a question that's basically my go-to for every invited guest, right? I want you to tell us about your favorite project, and let's start there, and if I see the need, I'm going to probe you on that.
So my favorite project that I've done till now?
Okay, so you got a lot of okay, that's good to know. Let's keep it real time. The favorite project that you're working right now.
Oh, right now.
Yeah.
So right now, that is kind of like.
That's only if you, unless there is another favorite project that basically one-ups the project that you're working on.
I can tell you about both of them.
Go for it.
Yeah. Okay.
The more the merrier.
So right now I'm doing kind of this very exciting project where I'm making a music video, and it's not for anyone that I know. It's just a song that I really vibe with. It's very high energy. It's very interesting. And then I am putting up a whole kind of storytelling within this music video.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like the craziest project I've done so far. It's going to be very cinematic, a lot of lights, a lot of like I have developed characters to like the tiniest detail and what they will do throughout this movie and all the different scenes, and you know my storyboard is just all over the place.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to see that done because there's a lot of work.
Yeah.
But my favorite that I've done of like all time is probably my very first thing that kind of launched my AI career, which was it's like this short film called The Seeds of the Hunter. Which is about a wolf and this livestock guardian dog, and kind of like they're the inevitable roles that lives give you, right?
Yeah.
So it's on my page if you want to check it out. It's on myamjohnson.com.
Okay.
On my portfolio there if you want to check it out. And it's just 4 minutes of pure cinematography with kind of old AIs came out for about a year ago.
Okay.
But hands down my favorite project until now.
Nice. I guess I have to probe you a bit. Let's start with how did you get into this? I mean, the AI movie stuff.
Yeah, so it's a fair question because it all kind of happened right here.
Right.
I went to the very first creative AI meetup.
Yeah.
And this was kind of like the desperate attempt at networking because, as I said, I started getting a job as as a 3D artist.
Yeah.
So I went over and I was like, okay, AI, that's kind of cool. Let's check it out. Let's see what I can do.
Yeah.
And then I kept going to it, kept meeting people, and then I started getting offers, you know, even though I really hadn't worked that much with AI. Then I did like my own project to see stuff that I just talked about, and then it kind of all broke through there.
Yeah.
So, you know, if anyone's listening out there that kind of sits in with like this one movie project they really want to do, just do it, post it, and even if it isn't as perfect as you want it to, a lot of people probably going to think it's worth it.
Definitely. I also need to because you are not one dimension. You've got a lot of dimensions, like the other creatives here, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to ask you, I'm going to ask you what excites you with this, basically the AI movie creation. It's basically the soul of what we are doing here as well, right?
Yeah.
The creative stuff, before we get to the boring stuff, right? Go for it.
So what excites me is that there kind of isn't any boundaries. There is very few boundaries.
Very few boundaries.
Yeah. So basically, even though you're just one person who sits in with this like crazy sci-fi movie idea, you can make it. You don't need a team or a budget with like $1 trillion to make that happen. Anything that you can imagine, and as long as like you are sure of your own abilities and your storytelling, and you think this is something worth showing to the world, then
you just go for it. Yeah.
Go for it. You have the opportunity now.
Yeah. Okay. So as you remember, it was in a quotation marks, right? So I didn't mean when I said boring. However, it's a bit different. There is also the stories, role play stuff that you work with. Would you like to talk about it a bit and basically tell us what problems that you're solving at an entrepreneur level, right? As an AI innovator.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Absolutely. So I'm building something called AI which is a interactive storytelling platform. So basically, you can upload
AI
interactive storytelling platform.
story platform.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, you can upload any book, and then you interact with it instead of just reading it.
Yeah.
Because honestly, we're in 2025. Obviously, you should be able to interact with the books, and it should be able to be tailored to you and your use cases.
Right.
So that means that you could, talk to your favorite characters, make new endings, explore within a universe created by this book.
Right.
And there's a lot of other stuff put into the back end, like character relationship systems and character arts, and like an orchestrator to make sure that the story is actually interesting and all that.
Yeah.
So this, obviously, as you can hear, is a pretty big project.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not, because there's so much you can do with like the AI tools that are provided with you right now.
Mm-hmm.
But my biggest challenge right now is finding a team. Because I had like this tiny team, but like we are bootstrapping it, which means that we don't have any current funding. So we're like building it on our own terms, and then
Basically volunteer work, what you're doing.
yeah. And these guys, like, one had to move away, and the other one kind of wanted to do something, which is totally fine. So right now, trying to find someone who's like passionate about storytelling, but also has kind of this entrepreneurial passion and I find this interesting. It's like willing to put in the work as I do. I'm spent like countless hours just trying to build this up from the ground up.
Right. See, now you piqued my curiosity, and we could like just go on and on and on, but I'm going to be respect your time and also the viewers. So look, what I want to know regarding to
interactive
storytelling platform, about your interactive story platform, is how far have you come regarding to basically creating that platform?
Yeah, so we have basically a working MVP.
Right.
So, and it currently works on public domain books and that kind of stuff. So like Moby Dick and the Alice in Wonderland and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And then we were just about to launch it to like a tiny, a group of beta testers with about like 20 people, just like to get a proof of concept and then do some analysis of like what they did like it, what they didn't like, what can we do better. And that's kind of why it's great that we're bootstrapping this, because right now we can see if this is a concept that works. Well, I really believe in it, but the numbers have to talk to us as well, right? Just like see how that goes without having a PC breathing down our necks and expecting something that we maybe don't have.
Right. Look, I need to ask you a question, which basically is the theme and also the topic of this podcast or show or what have you, and that is so it's a two-folded question. The one is have you used ChatGPT either in your creative works or in your AI platform, role-playing AI platform? That's the one question. And if you have not, have you used transformer technology in general in your projects? That's that's the question one. So question two is basically headlines, because you cannot elaborate in a couple of minutes, right? How have you used these technologies? So let's start with A. Go for it.
So the question was if I had used
ChatGPT or something like ChatGPT.
Always I've used ChatGPT. In Unbound, you mean the storytelling platform, or do you mean?
Basically both of them, but you can focus on what you're comfortable with talking about.
Yeah, no, so I use ChatGPT especially for in like the pre-production phases when I work with these videos and all that kind of stuff. It's very important to kind of often you sit there with like an idea, but not entirely sure how it will unfold, and what will this character be like? What is the story? What I'm trying to say? And then it helps me make a script and just like put everything that I have in here down on a page, and I use like a brainstorming machine basically.
Brainstorming machine.
Yeah, sometimes I go for a walk and I just have ChatGPT on my ear and I just have like a conversation about like whatever I'm writing.
Okay.
And that is like a life hack that works so well, because you get the nature, you feel refreshed, and then at the same time you keep your brain going. So if you feel stuck on something like that, that could be a good idea to use.
Okay.
And for Unbound, we don't use ChatGPT.
No.
We have talked about using our custom LLMs, but at the point where we are right now, we don't need it, because these LLMs are so good at this point with so many data sets that we can just change in between whichever is best. So I think the latest one we used was Gemini, because it has like the largest context window. So when the chat gets too long, one forget as much, but that's also something.
So you use it through API?
Yes.
Okay. So not server based, but API keys, right? Okay. Okay. I also need to ask you, of course, I need to ask you about costs. If you want, like, let's go for. What was it? Artificial storytelling platform, right? AI story platform, right? Sorry, it's a bit of a mouthful for me, right? The AI story platform you're like creating. How's the cost? I mean, especially if you're at the beta testing. So
so we haven't started beta testing yet. We're just about to do that. So I'm currently just waiting to put together a strong team, and then we'll proceed with that, have a proof of concept and everything. But honestly, it's super cheap.
Really?
If you have people that knows what they're doing, I think we use a lot of like cursor to create it all, cursor, and then a lot of byte coding as well.
Did you also use N8N?
Sorry?
N8N?
No. I think we use Claude Code. And then cursor as well.
So no node technology?
No.
Not
currently, but that's probably something we should be doing, So what was it talking about again?
You basically
the cost.
Cost,
so it's honestly pretty cheap to just
so
and as long as
cost
you have
is a question.
But so we talked about it, and like up to about 100 people, 100 users. That is when we have to look at scaling, and that's when we would probably have to need funding. But up to that point, we'll probably be fine, and then it would. When it's ready, we would have it as a subscription based. So it would be freemium, so people would be able to use it up to a point. So many.
And then you've got the premium,
And then you have to premium. It works really well. I don't have like an exact number, but it's like surprisingly cheap.
Surprisingly cheap. That's AI for you in a nutshell. And also, your approximate cost regarding to the movie creation?
That is way more expensive than the AI, the storytelling platform. Oh my god, I don't know. I keep like buying credits all the time. I would guess about like maybe. And honestly, I don't really make like long movies right now.
What?
Well, I'm going to be like the music video. So
it's at least 3 minutes and 21 seconds at least.
Yeah, something like that.
But till now, so how many minutes are we talking about?
That I've made so far. Just a couple of seconds.
We're talking about seconds. It's basically clips.
But there's so much you have to reiterate until like you get something that you like and want to actually put.
You're talking about the actual music video, right?
So I don't know. God, how much do I need? maybe like 2K a month, just for extra edits.
Yeah, that's expensive
Yeah,
for you.
but you get paid for doing this kind of thing.
Yeah, so
it's a part of the budget, I guess.
Right.
But like, even if you were an actual filmmaker, you would have to pay a lot of people.
Of course. Yeah. So you can't compare, but I'm talking about when you compare it to your AR story platforms. So you can't even compare that. It's incomparable. Maya, it has been a pleasure, and I really hope to have you on some other time. Because to be honest, to be honest, there aren't a lot of girls and women.
I'm fully aware of that.
Yeah, so I would really appreciate if you would be a regular guest in my talk, in my show, right? Great, thanks.
Thank you.
Oh wow, thank you for watching. I absolutely can't wait to hear all about where you're tuning in from in the comment section below. And of course, just because I'm Alice AI version doesn't mean your comments aren't wildly important.